What if the reason many people stay poor for decades is not that they are lazy, not because they do not work hard, and not even because they do not earn enough money? What if the real reason is that a large part of their future income has already been spent before it even arrives? Think about that for a second. Imagine waking up on payday. Your salary comes in. For a few minutes, you feel safe. You feel in control. You feel like finally, you can breathe. But then the money starts disappearing. Rent goes out. Loan payment goes out. Credit card payment goes out. Car payment goes out. Phone contract goes out. Buy now, pay later installment goes out. A little overdraft fee appears. A subscription you forgot about gets charged. And before you even make a real decision, most of your money is already gone. Now here is the scary part. You worked for 30 days, but the money was already promised to other people before it reached your hands. That is the debt trap. It is not just owing money. It is living in a system where yesterday's decisions keep controlling today's paycheck, and today's pressure keeps stealing tomorrow's freedom. Most people think debt is just a financial problem, but debt is also a psychological trap, because it does something very powerful to the mind. It makes life feel urgent. It makes small problems feel like emergencies. It makes you choose short-term relief over long-term progress. And slowly, without noticing it, debt can turn a person from the owner of their income into a servant of their payments. Let's imagine two people. Their names are Daniel and Marcus. Daniel and Marcus are both 25 years old. They both get their first proper jobs. They both earn almost the same amount of money. They both want a better life. At the beginning, their lives look very similar. They both rent small apartments. They both go out with friends. They both dream of buying a nice car, traveling, investing, and maybe one day building wealth. But there is one small difference. Daniel wants to move slowly. Marcus wants to feel successful quickly. Marcus looks around and sees everyone upgrading their life. A coworker gets a new car. A friend buys the latest phone. Someone on social media posts a vacation. Another person says, "You only live once." At first, Marcus resists. But then he starts thinking, "I work hard. I deserve nice things too." So he finances a car. The monthly payment does not look too bad. Then he upgrades his phone. Again, the monthly payment looks small. Then he uses a credit card for furniture because his apartment feels empty. Then he takes a small personal loan to cover a few expenses. Then he starts using buy now, pay later because it feels harmless. For small payments. No big deal. None of these decisions feels like a disaster. That is why the debt trap works. It rarely begins with one huge mistake. It begins with many small decisions that feel reasonable in the moment. Daniel also wants nice things. But he asks a different question. Marcus asks, "Can I afford the monthly payment?" Daniel asks, "What will this do to my future cash flow?" That one question changes everything. Because one person is looking at the size of the payment. The other person is looking at the direction of his life. Most people are taught to ask, "Can I afford it?" But in the modern financial world, that question can be dangerous. Because companies have become very good at making almost anything look affordable. A car looks expensive if the price is $25,000, but it feels affordable if the payment is $399 a month. A phone looks expensive if the price is $1,200, but it feels affordable if the payment is only $35 a month. A couch looks expensive if it costs $900, but it feels affordable when the store says, "Take it today and pay later." This is how debt changes the way your brain sees money. Instead of thinking in total cost, your mind starts thinking in monthly payments. And monthly payments are one of the most powerful traps in personal finance, because they make expensive things feel small. It is like cutting a heavy chain into tiny pieces. Each piece does not look dangerous, but when all the pieces are connected, they can still lock you in place. That is what happens to Marcus. At first, his payments are manageable. But then life happens. His car needs repairs. Rent goes up. Food becomes more expensive. A family emergency comes up. He misses one credit card payment. Now there is interest. Now there are late fees. Now the balance is bigger than before. Then he uses another card to cover the first card. Then he borrows again to get through the month. And slowly, Marcus enters a cycle. He works to earn money, then uses that money to pay old debt, then has too little left to live. So he borrows again. Then next month, the payments are even bigger. This is the debt trap. It is like trying to climb out of a hole while someone is quietly making the hole deeper every month. And the most dangerous part is that the trap does not always feel like a trap at the beginning. Sometimes it feels like freedom. Debt can feel like freedom because it gives you access before you have earned the money. You can drive the car now. You can wear the clothes now. You can take the trip now. You can upgrade your lifestyle now. But the hidden cost is that you are borrowing from your future self. Your future self is the person who will wake up months or years from now and have fewer choices because of decisions made today. Every debt payment is a piece of future income already assigned to the past. That is why debt can keep people poor for decades. Not because they never earn money, but because every time money enters their life, it already has somewhere else to go. Wealth is built when your money has room to work. Debt destroys wealth because it takes away that room. Think of your income like water flowing into a bucket. If the bucket has no holes, the water starts to rise. That rising water is savings. That savings can become investments. Those investments can become assets. Those assets can eventually create more income. But debt is like holes in the bucket. A car payment is one hole. A credit card payment is another hole. A personal loan is another hole. An overdraft is another hole. A buy now, pay later plan is another hole. If there are too many holes, it does not matter how much water you pour in. The bucket never fills. This is why some people get salary increases and still feel broke. They think the problem is income. And sometimes income really is part of the problem. But very often, the problem is that their financial bucket is leaking. When they earn more, they do not build more. They borrow more. They upgrade more. They commit to more payments. So the bigger income disappears into a bigger lifestyle. This is why a person can earn $2,000 a month and feel broke, then later earn $5,000 a month and still feel broke. The numbers changed, but the pattern stayed the same. Debt loves patterns. It grows inside habits. It grows inside emotions. It grows inside the belief that I will fix it later. And that is one of the most dangerous phrases in personal finance. I will fix it later. People say this when they use a credit card for something they cannot afford. They say it when they take a loan because they are stressed. They say it when they buy something to feel better. They say it when they upgrade their life before their foundation is strong. The problem is, later usually arrives with more pressure, not less. Because when later comes, the debt comes with it. And now, the person is not just solving today's problem. They are solving today's problem plus yesterday's decision plus interest. Interest is one of the most misunderstood forces in money. When interest works for you, it can build wealth quietly. When interest works against you, it can destroy progress quietly. Investing is when your money earns money for you. Bad debt is when someone else's money earns money from you. That is the difference. When you invest, time becomes your helper. When you carry expensive debt, time becomes your enemy. A $500 balance may not sound terrifying, but if the interest is high and the payments are small, that balance can stay alive for a very long time. That is because many payments do not attack the real debt quickly. They mostly feed the interest. It is like paying rent to your own past mistakes. And this is where many people feel trapped emotionally, because they are making payments every month, but the balance barely moves. So they feel discouraged. Then they think, what is the point? Then they spend again because they already feel behind. This is the psychological side of debt. Debt does not only take money. It can take hope. It can make people avoid looking at their bank account. It can make them ignore statements. It can make them feel ashamed. It can make them compare themselves to others and feel like they are failing. And when shame enters money decisions, people often make worse decisions. Because shame does not create clarity. Shame creates avoidance. A person who feels ashamed of debt may not make a plan. They may not calculate the total. They may not ask for help. They may not negotiate. They may not cut expenses. They may simply avoid the truth because the truth feels painful. But avoiding debt is like ignoring smoke in a house. The longer you wait, the more damage it can do. The first step out of the debt trap is not becoming rich. The first step is becoming honest. Honest about what you owe. Honest about why you borrowed. Honest about which habits created the problem. Honest about the difference between needs, wants, and emotional spending. Because most debt is not just a math problem. It is a behavior pattern. Of course, some debt comes from emergencies, medical problems, unemployment, family responsibilities, or difficult life situations. Not everyone enters debt because they were careless. But even when debt begins through hardship, escaping it still requires a system. A person cannot rely only on motivation. Motivation comes and goes. A system stays. This is where Daniel and Marcus start to separate even more. Daniel does not live a perfect life. He also has bills. He also feels pressure. He also wants to enjoy life. But Daniel protects one thing carefully: his future cash flow. Before he commits to a payment, he asks, "Will this make my future easier or harder?" That question saves him again and again. He does not buy a car just because he can qualify for the loan. He does not use credit just because the bank offers it. He does not upgrade everything at once just because his income increases. He understands that every payment is a promise, and too many promises can become a prison. Marcus, on the other hand, keeps thinking, it is only a small payment. But small payments are not small when they gather together. A $50 payment here, a $100 payment there, a $200 payment somewhere else, a $400 car payment, a $150 credit card minimum, a $60 subscription stack. Suddenly, hundreds or thousands are leaving every month before he makes any progress. This is how people lose control without noticing. Not through one dramatic financial collapse, but through quiet commitments. And when your commitments are too high, your choices become smaller. You cannot easily change jobs. You cannot easily start a business. You cannot easily invest. You cannot easily move. You cannot easily rest. You cannot easily take risks that could improve your life. Debt keeps people poor because it reduces flexibility. And flexibility is one of the most underrated parts of wealth. We often think wealth means luxury. Big house, nice car, expensive clothes, first-class travel. But real wealth often looks quieter. It looks like options. The option to leave a bad job. The option to handle an emergency without panic. The option to invest when opportunities appear. The option to sleep peacefully because your life is not controlled by payments. Debt removes options. And when options disappear, people make decisions from fear. They stay in jobs they hate because they cannot miss a paycheck. They avoid learning new skills because they are too stressed. They delay investing because every extra dollar is already assigned. They keep borrowing because they do not have a cushion. This is why debt becomes a decade-long trap. It is not only the amount borrowed. It is the chain reaction. Debt creates payments. Payments reduce cash flow. Low cash flow creates stress. Stress creates short-term decisions. Short-term decisions create more debt. More debt creates more payments. And the cycle repeats. At some point, the person may not even remember the original purchase clearly, but they are still paying for it. This is one of the saddest parts of consumer debt. The excitement disappears quickly. The payment remains. The new phone becomes normal. The vacation becomes a memory. The clothes get old. The furniture blends into the background. The car loses value. But the debt keeps showing up every month like a visitor who refuses to leave. This is why we have to understand the difference between price and cost. The price is what you pay at the store. The cost is what it does to your life. A car's price may be $25,000. But the real cost may include the payment, the insurance, fuel, repairs, stress, and the investment money you no longer have. A credit card purchase may be $300, but the real cost may include interest, lost cash flow, and the habit of buying before planning. A lifestyle upgrade may feel good today, but the real cost may be the delay of your financial freedom. This does not mean debt is always evil. Some debt can be useful when it helps you build something that grows in value or increases your earning power. For example, using debt carefully to build a business, gain a valuable skill, or buy an asset can be different from using debt to fund a lifestyle. But the key word is carefully. The problem is not simply debt itself. The problem is debt that buys appearances instead of progress. Debt that buys status instead of assets. Debt that buys comfort today by creating pressure tomorrow. That kind of debt is dangerous because it feels normal. In fact, one reason the debt trap is so powerful is that it is socially accepted. People do not always question a car payment. They do not always question credit card balances. They do not always question financing furniture, electronics, clothes, or vacations. In many places, debt has become part of everyday life. But normal does not always mean wise. A trap becomes more dangerous when everyone around you is standing in it. Because then it does not look like a trap. It looks like life. This is why financial education matters. Not because it magically makes you rich overnight, but but because it helps you see the trap before it closes. Once you understand debt, you start seeing money differently. You stop asking, "Can I get approved?" You start asking, "Should I commit my future income to this?" You stop asking, "How small is the payment?" You start asking, "What is the total cost?" You stop asking, "Will this make me look successful?" You start asking, "Will this make me more free?" That is the mindset shift. Because the opposite of debt is not just having no payments. The opposite of debt is control. Control over your income. Control over your decisions. Control over your future. And control begins with awareness. So how does someone start escaping the debt trap? First, they must stop pretending the debt is smaller than it is. Write it down. Every loan, every credit card, every payment plan, every person owed, every interest rate if possible, every minimum payment. This step may feel uncomfortable, but it turns fear into information, and information can be managed. Second, they must stop adding new debt. This is like closing the holes in the bucket before trying to fill it. If new debt keeps coming in, every payment plan becomes weaker. You cannot escape a hole while digging deeper. Third, they need to create breathing room. That may mean cutting unnecessary expenses for a season. It may mean selling something. It may mean taking on extra work temporarily. It may mean pausing lifestyle upgrades. Not forever, but long enough to regain control. This part is difficult because it feels like going backward, but sometimes stepping back is how you stop falling. Fourth, they need a repayment strategy. Some people start with the smallest debt first because it creates motivation. They see one balance disappear and feel progress. Others start with the highest interest debt first because it saves more money over time. The best method is the one a person can actually stick with, because a perfect plan that you quit is worse than a simple plan you follow. Fifth, they need to build a small emergency buffer. This is important because without even a little savings, every surprise becomes new debt. A broken phone, a medical bill, a family emergency, a delayed paycheck. Without a buffer, life keeps pushing people back into borrowing. Even a small emergency fund can break the cycle. It gives the mind a little peace, and peace leads to better decisions. But there is an even deeper lesson. To escape debt, you do not only change your payments. You change your identity. You stop seeing yourself as someone who survives through borrowing. You start seeing yourself as someone who protects future freedom. That identity shift changes daily choices. You begin to feel differently about spending, not because you hate enjoyment, but because you understand the trade. Every dollar has a job. It can buy comfort. It can buy status. It can buy convenience. It can buy peace. It can buy future income. It can buy freedom. The problem is that many people spend money without deciding what they want it to buy. So the money buys temporary emotion, a feeling of success, a feeling of relief, a feeling of belonging, a feeling of control. But then the feeling fades and the payment remains. This is why emotional spending is so closely connected to debt. When people are stressed, tired, lonely, insecure, or overwhelmed, spending can feel like medicine. Buying something gives a small burst of control. For a moment, life feels better. But debt turns that temporary relief into long-term pressure. It is like drinking salt water when you are thirsty. It feels like you are doing something, but it makes the deeper problem worse. So the real question is not only, how do I pay off debt? The real question is, what emotional need was the debt trying to solve? Was it trying to solve boredom, insecurity, pressure to impress, fear of missing out, the desire to feel successful, the desire to escape stress? When you understand the emotion behind the spending, you can build better habits around it. Because if you do not deal with the emotion, the behavior usually comes back. This is why some people pay off debt and then fall back into debt again. They fix the balance, but they did not fix the pattern. The balance is the symptom. The pattern is the cause. And wealth building is mostly about patterns. Small patterns repeated for years. Debt is a pattern where money flows away from you before it can grow. Wealth is a pattern where money stays with you long enough to multiply. That is the difference. One pattern makes you dependent. The other pattern makes you stronger. Imagine two machines. The first machine takes your paycheck and sends pieces of it to banks, lenders, credit cards, and past purchases. The second machine takes your paycheck and sends pieces of it to savings, investments, assets, and future income. Both machines run every month. The question is, which machine are you building? Marcus built the first machine without realizing it. At first, it gave him comfort and status. But over time, it took away his choices. Daniel built the second machine slowly. At first, it did not look exciting. No big upgrades. No flashy lifestyle. No dramatic transformation. But every month, he had a little more breathing room. Then a little more savings. Then his first investment. Then a stronger emergency fund. Then more confidence. Then more options. And after years, the difference became obvious. Not because Daniel was lucky. Not because Marcus was stupid. But because one person protected his future cash flow, while the other person sold pieces of it too cheaply. That is the lesson. Debt becomes dangerous when it makes your future smaller. And wealth begins when your future starts becoming larger. The goal is not to live with fear and never enjoy money. The goal is to enjoy money without letting today's desires control tomorrow's life. Because every financial decision has two versions of you sitting at the table. There is the present you, the one who wants comfort now, the one who wants relief now, the one who wants the thing now. And there is the future you, the one who has to pay for it, the one who has to wake up with the consequences, the one who either inherits freedom or pressure. Good money decisions are not about punishing the present you. They are about respecting the future you. So before taking on a new debt, pause and ask a simple question. Am I buying freedom or am I selling it? If the debt helps you build something valuable, increase your income, or create long-term strength, it may be a tool. But if the debt only helps you look successful, feel better temporarily, or live a lifestyle your income cannot support, it may be a trap. And traps are easiest to escape before you step into them. The debt trap keeps people poor for decades because it hides inside normal life. It hides inside monthly payments. It hides inside emotional spending. It hides inside I deserve it. It hides inside I will fix it later. It hides inside the belief that earning more money will automatically solve everything. But more income cannot save a leaking bucket if the holes keep growing. The real path begins when you stop measuring success by what you can borrow and start measuring success by what you can keep, build, and control. Because financial freedom is not built by pretending to be rich. It is built by slowly buying back your future. One paid-off balance at a time. One avoided bad decision at a time. One honest conversation with yourself at a time. 1 month of protected cash flow at a time. And maybe the most powerful moment is not when you become wealthy. Maybe it is the moment you realize your paycheck no longer belongs to your past. It belongs to your future. That is when the trap starts to break. And that is when money stops feeling like a chain and starts becoming a tool.